welcome back to more Spy Family. Anya's doing quite well, got herself a little star. Of course, it did almost come at the expense of a little boy's life. Although, if he had drowned, I'm not sure she would have been rewarded. But as the day closes on, we are on now the 12th episode of Spy Family. It's going to take a little break from here on because, well, we have to wait for the next part of the season. But what we can do is find out just how much the world is still at stake. Is the mission going to be any easier? Probably not, because relationships are hard. Making friends is one thing, but an entire family. But let's enjoy this episode of Spy Family. Dun dun. Balin. Hiding out in plain sight. Who would consider an old face like this in a underground station to be a font of information for a family of spies? Now, what if someone just thought, oh, that's some orange juice. I'd like that. Accidentally got in the hands of the wrong people. And yet, nothing seems to change. Well, I don't believe so, because as long as there are societies, there are going to be others that want what they have, want a little bit extra. So espionage and protection is not something that will probably die out. Are all the big information brokers and the running these stalls? Frankie does. It must be annoying not only having to do what looks to be a customer service little shop job, while also constantly on the lookout just for any tells and remembering all these ciphers and whatnot. I can barely manage the easy things. But as this series has shown so far, we've had quite a lot of Lloyd's escapades and missions. Are we going to end this sort of with a little cliffhanger? Or an explosion to start it off, I guess. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, you got to look classy even after a relatively violent explosion. And yet they're talking so openly, mentioning operation names and the like. But the operation is going perfectly. And what if, after all of this, there is no grand plans for war between the nations? At least it's a little got to look out for his own health. But even if there's no claims of war, it would be good for prosperity if they know that. Don't have to be on edge all the time. A lot of people need help. And I would like to see more of her backstory, like why she ended up in the orphanage. How helpful. I mean, she's had plenty of experience cleaning... There we go. Cleaning off blood and the like, so how bad is washing dishes? Penguin Park. Is there any time for him to sleep? Apparently not. They're gossiping. I see. They're starting to come up with these little stories amongst themselves. And now you've got to pretend to be more of a familial unit. Dashing up the stairs. Okay, welcome home. Her art is getting better. You have to put in all the effort. Well, a normal, maybe not happy, but a normal family would be dysfunctional. So they're getting that right. The aquarium not going so well. I mean, they're slightly matching outfits. No response, just... It wasn't a penguin. If that's the joke at the end of all of this. Still with the Utings. Thanks for preparing the speech for her. At least she... Oh no. Can you pretend to not see it? Unfortunately, it is for the good of Operation Strix. It supersedes any other missions. See, very important for the mission. Shit! Yet, he obviously did his homework in advance. I mean, is he going to get his juice? Well, trip at the aquarium with your family, international incident. She didn't seem so excited about the starfish. He doesn't do well with seafood. Not only having to put on the impression of a proper family. Of course they had to be there. Not only having to continue this day, have a fun time at the aquarium. It'd be good if the ones across the hall are responsible for this chemical attack. Get them shipped off, don't have to worry anymore. Poor penguins. Leave the penguins alone. Yeah, the underground market in penguins. I wouldn't actually be surprised if that somewhat exists. Okay then. What are they? Emperor penguins? Pe. I wonder if it will have any telltale signs. Yeah, he's gonna have to go through each and every one of them in detail. Now, he just loves penguins as well. I wonder if Anya can read the minds of penguins. Whoops. See which one has a upset stomach. They have... Well, that's a good sight to see for any visitors. That poor man. Just happened to be late. I mean, his master of deception in disguise. Could have at least left him some spare pants. You're supposed to... Yep. And this is where he rattles off all of them. Here, to have a close look. How many different penguins' names can you create starting with a P? This damn penguin genius over here. Careful, the newbie might be after your job. Yep. You got to get through the day of actually... What's that face? Actually feeding all of the penguins. Do a good job at it. Okay, we saw how there's... the fact that he can actually come up with all of this, take it in. Now they're fed. Clear the way. Yeah, take in all this information within a matter of minutes. Is this something a newbie should be doing, just handling the penguins like this? Even if it is technically correct. Did it have to be in the room of the... like sharks and whatnot in the other tanks? Ah, that's how they would know. Yeah, who do you claim to be, at least? Oh. Well, that does seem... somewhat genuine. It's a shame the ink smudges... Apparently, you shouldn't bring a gun to a bucket fight. How are you going to stash the penguin away until it's safe? Yeah, this is an exciting day for you, isn't it, Anya? But what's she doing over in the staff areas? Also, getting completely separated, not knowing where each other are. That seems like a proper family outing. He's in trouble now. Meh. Wow, indeed. I don't think he'll be... I don't think he'll be needing that ID anymore. I don't think it would quite match. I mean, a giant penguin. Ah, that's why he was away for so long. I mean, yeah, that's the lie. The lie wasn't him guessing the penguin names. Well, that shut them up pretty quickly. To be fair, I think I'd like a giant penguin like that. Do you think that they're going to stop gossip for a while? I mean, he's still facing them and he's pulling that expression. Well, maybe hang on for a little while. I mean, it's a grand ideal, creating a world like that, but might be a way off. I wonder if there's a dolphin naming contest. Yeah, I was about to say that exact line. The kind of cliche one. Not bad for a first day. Or the poor guy's future is, I don't know how it's going to hang. Introduce your new co-workers, and they're like... Peanuts. This is the bond that they will have eternally. Agent Penguinman. I mean, as a child's imagination, as far as that goes, I think she's having fun. I do think we needed the little translation of what she's saying there. I mean, she seems kind of happy about it, even as a failure at everything. How does he seem so worried? And also the base of operations of everything. I wonder if Agent Penguinman is quite as good as stealth as Anya there is able to stick to the shadows. Anya, don't go into your parents' rooms. I mean, it can be a little less forceful. Getting to know that for the good of everything, it's probably best not to be in there. Really, but how are you going to take both Chimera and Penguinman with you? Good attempt. Unfortunately, Penguinman doesn't sound like that. He must have a sore throat. And we have to go to the candy store right now. Conniving little... If I saw that, yeah, I'd know exactly what was going on. Hiding in plain sight, though. Some people will see that and try to avert their eyes completely. The lengths that people go to. Well, I'm sure they could have figured out something like Penguinman and Robot needs to stay behind for intelligence gathering. Instead, we've set these replaceable field agents. Don't need to carry them around the streets then. But with the most important element of peace and safety secured, that of stopping a crying child, we might be able to get a bit closer. Having a nice day at the aquarium, carrying out more missions and tasks, even when he said no. But should we be surprised that there was one there? The amount of extra ones he's been undertaking, there's probably one in almost every locale. If their plan was to hide a microfilm inside of a penguin to retrieve at a later date, they probably should have sent more than just one guy with a very poor ID. I mean, if you run an aquarium and just had someone come over to, I am the marine expert, give me a penguin. Pretty much anyone would be like, I don't remember you. You shouldn't bow down to authority straight away without confirming. But yeah, also, why didn't Lloyd take him to the treatment room? Rather than right there in the open. And personally, as far as like family outings and day visits to aquariums and the places of the like, this was fairly good, even with the foiled chemical warfare plot and the annoying neighbours. I wouldn't really be lying if some old family outings and trips ended in a lot more bloodshed than what we saw here. But of course that was episode 12 of Spy Family, a episode where a new member of the family joined them. A giant penguin-shaped plushie. I wonder how many they actually go through, if it's for naming the penguin competition. There must be enough people there, giving it enough tries just to get that thing. Maybe one a month? Yeah, unless Lloyd comes every day, in which case they'd empty their supply pretty quick. Now his ability to memorise information, faces, names, patterns, penguins, is astounding to me when I can barely remember two things at once. Although that probably says more about me than someone with his kind of memory. But if you had a trip over to the aquarium, family or not in tow, what would you be most excited for? Sharks? Octopus, penguins, starfish. We all have our preferences. Those poor animals that don't get enough attention. But it is fun to see the mixture of understanding that the world's in danger, we need to focus on the mission and get things right, and also just being a kid and enjoying playtime. This is the room that I know is dangerous, is filled with stuff, because they keep saying it's got deadly poisons and knives. Or at least keep thinking it's got those things. Yeah, curiosity will overcome all. You really want to see what's behind that door. Also, I think that would become part of a story at some point. Yeah, it's mentioned the door of disaster. But it is good to see that it's not just the secret police. It's not just the enemy organisations. It's your very own neighbours you need to worry about. I mean, from the beginning we've already had the people ratting each other out for suspicious behaviour, so good that it's actually brought up again. But that's Spy Family. I hope you enjoyed. There's some things to like about it. If you want to see more in the future, consider subscribing to the channel, and when it comes back you should be alerted. But until then, maybe head on over to my Discord, be updated on all new releases, maybe have your say in some new ones. But for now, consider leaving a like and a comment if you thought I've earned it. If he's got a giggle or something. But get some rest. Like Lloyd, I think we all need it. I'll see you in the next one. If you would like to save the distressed penguin that is my channel, consider joining onto my Patreon, because thanks to Electricant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Arthea, Darkshadow7899, Shiwan, Mats, Girly, Cardboard, Croyville, Megu42, and everyone else, I don't believe I'll be swallowing any film reel anytime soon. Of course, with all of you at my back, I'm pretty sure the channel can survive a little longer. Unfortunately, we don't have a giant penguin plushie. Maybe we need to change that.